Hello guys, a very warm welcome to Arihant Online Academy, and here in this video we are going to discuss that why to learn Python क्यों पढ़ें. Guys, in this video we will discuss this thing very briefly with the statistics, so much data and so much research. But before going directly on the point that why to learn Python, there is a need of understanding something else, right? So you can see the screen. On the screen I will share some important content so that you will get the thing exactly the way I want to share with you. So if you will see that to learn the Python, you need to break into a new tech career. Okay, Python programming is some of the most useful and in-demand skills that can lead to a successful career in the tech industry. Even if you have no prior experience, if you are beginner also, if you are in schooling days also, if you are in graduation, if you are under graduation, in any branch, you can start from scratch. You can start from very scratch. No prior experience is needed. Okay, so before going directly that why there is a need to learn Python, we will brief out some points over Python, that what Python is. I hope all of you in the today's era have learned or have heard the term Python somewhere, maybe on internet, maybe on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, maybe with your colleagues or in universities, in your schooling friends, via your schooling friend, via your faculties like that, right? But everyone is talking about Python and for a good reason. With an exponentially growing community around data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, web development, and many more. Python is a language that opens programming access to the world. Right? So why to learn Python? But before we need to discuss that what exactly Python is. So if we talk about Python, it is a high-level programming language that is used for general purpose software engineering. It's a server-side language, right? Which means it runs on the servers and it is responsible for processing the logic behind user inputs, interacting with databases and other servers, etc. Okay, so Python is an open source language. What is open source language? The code of Python is freely available to us. If anybody want to improve over that, he or she can do the coding, he or she can apply their logic in that, and community will see around the changes. If any particular, if any, you can say that any changes there that may reflect some kind of improvement, you might get a chance to involve yourself in the community development. And in recent years has increased the popularity due to its use in data science. Data science is the future. It is the future of technology. Data is the new oil, guys. Python also has a strong community around machine learning, data modeling, data analytics, and artificial intelligence with extensive resources and library built for these purposes. If you talk about the strong community, means there are many developers, many programmers, many coders are working throughout 24 hours, day and night over this technology. They are improving everything. Python is very easier to learn. The syntaxes are very shortcuts. The clarity is more here. And to run the code, we can do the same process in other technologies like C, Java also. But this language is now getting a more and more, you can say that more and more improvement day by day, and its boom is here nowadays, right? So if we talk about Flipkart, if we talk about Amazon, if we talk about Facebook, Instagram, everywhere data analysis is there. They are just seeing the behavior of users. They are just seeing the patterns of customers, and they are providing the statistics and doing their business, running their business. So the rich source of community is available for Python language. Python is not named on the basis of the snake, but basically it is named after British comedy group Monty Python. However, if you will see the logo, it is the combination of yellow and blue colors. Snakes, they are evolving like that, right? So okay, so let's come to the main point of the discussion, that why to learn Python. The very first important point is Python is extremely versatile with multiple uses. What we mean by versatile and multiple uses, you can go through the some important points, thereafter we'll discuss all it. Just to name a few of its most common uses, Python is used in data mining, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, web development, web frameworks, embedded systems, graphic design applications, gaming, network development, product development, rapid application development, testing, automation scripting, and the list goes on. Basically, you can do it in anywhere. And nowadays, if you see the industries who is using Python, it is versatile. Every industry, banking industry, IT industry, insurance industry, logistics, everywhere, hotels, tourism, whatever, hospitality, right, medical industry, everyone is using Python technology. Python is used as an easier and most efficiently written alternative to the languages that perform similar functionalities like C, R, and Java. Therefore, Python is growing in popularity as the primary language for many applications. If you will see that how many companies are using Python, the biggest, or you can say that the largest IT company of the globe, that is Google, they themselves are using the Python technology. Netflix, some very branded name like Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Quora, Slack, Intel, NASA, Dropbox, eBay, Spotify, Capital One, and list goes on. All are using Python somewhere in the technology. Now, the second important point here is Python is the fastest growing programming language. Why we can say that it is fastest growing? Given Python's uses across many industries and applications, and its recent explosive use in data science, machine learning, and AI, Python is on a major growth trajectory. StackOverflow.com shows Python as the fastest growing major programming language by the long shot, by analyzing the number of visitors versus questions about a certain topic. I hope you all have heard about Stack Overflow, right? So according to that, number of visitors versus their questions on any particular topics are increasing on this technology. If you will see here a very, very important chart, that whose popularity is increasing, still you can say that Python is on third position, and positive changes here. Still C language is on the top, thereafter there is a Java and then Python. These are very, very important technologies, guys. Python is making its place a very, very, very exponentially, and it may be the possible that in just a few months or few years it would be here also. So this is the some statistics that I have shared with you. If you will see the third important point, that is very, very, very exclusive, and that is it is in high demand for jobs. Basically, whatever technology you will learn, if there isn't any job for that, if there isn't any requirement, or if there isn't any demand, because all the technology, all the popularity is behind supply and demand, all is supply and demand. So going hand in hand with lightning speed growth, Python programming is in high demand for jobs. Based on the number of jobs posting on one of the largest job search platform like LinkedIn.com, Python ranks second in the most in-demand programming language of 2020. You can see here a very important chart, most in-demand programming languages of 2020. The very first one was Java, thereafter Python, and it is exponentially increasing. On third, JavaScript, thereafter C, then C++, C Sharp, Perl, Ruby, PHP, Android. But if you will see the exponentially increment, then Python is the one. Might be possible then in upcoming years, it might be on the top. So most in demand programming language according to the LinkedIn job posting, you can see here Python is in very much demand. The fourth point that why you need to learn Python, why to learn Python is easy to read, easy to write, and easy to learn. Python was built with the goal of getting rid of the complex and keeping only the necessary. What it means? That it removes unnecessary syntaxes. The goal was to make tasks easier, to make coding easier, to make programming easier. If there is unnecessary things, unnecessary syntaxes, unnecessary logics, unnecessary statements, commands, functions that don't have that much use and they are creating confusions and ambiguity, just remove all of them and only use the thing where clarity is more, where transparency is more, where efficiency is more. Because of this, Python is easier to read, write, and learn than most of other major programming languages. You can see here chart also. Python's clarity, Python's readability, and Python's learnability is that much. Thereafter, JavaScript, Go, TypeScript, Kotlin, Java. Java is on most bottom place. You can see C++, SQL, C Sharp. Nowadays, if you will see, there are more than 1,000 plus languages, or you can say that 1,000 plus active languages are there. Out of that, Python is in most demanding just due to its easierness in learning, writing, and understanding. The next point is Python developer makes great money. Obviously, if it is in demand, then pay scale just for Python is very, very, very high. Python developers are some of the highest paid developers in the market right now, particularly in data science, machine learning, and web development. You can see the statistics as well, that how their pay scales is rising. If you will observe the data of Python here, in 2017, on an average, they are getting $1,03,492 per annum. And if you talk about the recently, it is one of the highest pay scale job, which is right now existing, right? So it's basically, you can say that some of the thing which makes somewhat motivation for programmers, for students to learn. And the next one is Python has an incredibly supportive community for getting success anywhere. Supportive community is required, right? So while programming is most often misinterpreted as a solo sport, one of the greatest tools of a programmer will ever have is the support of their community. If you have support of that community, every task would become very easier and interesting. Thanks to the online forums, local meetups, and the open source community, programmers continue to learn from and build on the success of their predecessors. As you already know that the Python is open source language. The code is very much freely available and the community is very, very large and they are very supportive. You can see here the data analytics of the communities of languages which is most supportive. The Python is still on the second rank. Might be chance that it may come up to the first one. So what's the conclusion, guys? What's the conclusion? Conclusion is that why to learn Python? Right now, the demand of Python is very much high in the market. The second one important point is obviously if the demand is very high, pay scale is so that much good. And the coding is very much easier to write, learn, and read. And it is very interesting. And the versatility of the Python programming is one of the important key area that in each industry if you are looking your future, without Python it might not be possible, right? So Python is in most demand, and it is in versatile in every industry. It has occupied some way, some places. So I hope this video is going to be somewhat motivated for you to learn Python, somewhat informative, and obviously somewhat knowledgeable. So if you like this video, guys, do subscribe our YouTube channel, press the bell icon button, and if you have any kind of query or doubt regarding this language, you can ask in our comment section, and I will try to resolve all your doubts and queries as early as possible from my side. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day, guys. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.